everybody, thanks for stopping by Shara Me with Books. My name is Edshara, and today I will be doing the Game of Thrones tag. Now, Becca and Mike from the Books and Looks worked with Jessica and Christina from Game of Tomes to create this tag, and I first saw Georgina from Georgina Reads do it on her channel, so I will link all of them below. And I am really excited to do this tag because I have loved the show since season 1, and I have read the first 2 books in the Song of Ice and Fire series, but they were pretty tough to get through, so I did pause the series. But I am hoping in the future, once I get my books out of storage, I can try it again. But for now, let's get started on the tag. Question 1. How did you discover the series and books? I first heard about it from the series, just from HBO's promotion of it during the first season. After watching a couple of the trailers, it seemed like something I'd be really interested in, so I gave it a go, and it was only after watching a couple of episodes that I realized it was based off of a book, and so that's when I decided to pick up a couple of books in the series. Number 2, who's your all-time favorite character? Now, I feel like I could give the same answer for a couple of these questions, so in order not to do that, I'm going to say Tormund for this particular question. I love him. I love, that he can be so ruthless on the battlefield, cutting people down. He doesn't care, it's him or them, and the next minute, he's flirting, unashamed with Brienne of Tarth, and he doesn't care that she doesn't like him or she's not giving him the time of day. He is going to let her know that he likes her, and it's so funny how weird and how awkward it is, but I really enjoy his character, and I'm glad he's still currently around on the show. Number 3, who's your favorite side character? Now for this, I've got to say Sam. I love Sam. He's like a big old cuddly teddy bear. I love his friendship with John. I also really love how he is with Gilly and her son. I think that's the cutest thing ever. And I feel like out of all the characters, Sam is probably the most realistic or the most relatable. And I'm just so glad that he has survived and made it this far into the series. Number 4, if you could magically resurrect a character by sacrificing another character, who would you sacrifice and who would you bring back? Now, this is a no-brainer. I would definitely sacrifice Cersei because I don't like her, and I would bring back Ned Stark. I love Ned Stark, and I was so devastated when he, bit the bullet in the first season. I was not prepared for it, and I think Cersei's been around too long. She's gotten away with too much, and she needs to go. Number 5, you're a woman of the Night's Watch. Who would you break your oath of chastity for? This is, without a doubt, a no-brainer. It's Jon Snow. From season 1, it's been Jon Snow. Love him, love him, love him. Number 6, dragon or direwolf, and which would you rather have by your side? I would definitely rather have a direwolf by my side. I feel like they're more loyal. They're more like a dog, so you could kind of cuddle with it if you needed to. And I just feel like, even Daenerys has trouble with the dragons, so I wouldn't even want to deal with that. I mean, they'd be cool, especially if you wanted to enact some revenge or you didn't want people messing with you, but I would much rather have a direwolf. I just think they are better. Number 7, which character would you most like to portray on television? And I've got to say Arya. I love her. I feel like out of all the characters on the show, she has the best storyline. I love that she is probably one of the most accomplished Starks. She made a list and she is doing her darndest to check each and every name off of that list, and she's doing it in some pretty gruesome and good for television kind of ways. And I also like that she kind of uses all of her experiences to continue to kind of fuel her and push her forward. She could have cowered after watching her father die. She's not just, off and away in the woods somewhere, just, trying to figure out life. She is getting things done, and I love it. Number 8, what is your favorite moment of the Booker series? I would have to say my favorite moment would probably be when Daenerys walked out of the fire with the 3 baby dragons. I thought that was cool, especially since she burned the witch with her. And it kind of made up for the fact that we lost Khal Drogo. I wasn't prepared for that because at that point I hadn't read any of the books, so I didn't know that he was going to die so early. But it made up for it, and it was a really cool scene, and I really enjoyed it. But I would have to say just about any of the scenes that involve somebody dying on Game of Thrones are pretty awesome, because they're so gruesome and they're so brutal, but they're just done really, really well. I mean, for instance, the way Joffrey died, or the way Oberyn Martell died, you know, even the Red Wedding scene, it was brutal and it was heart-wrenching, but just from, you know, a cinematic perspective, or just from, you know, knowing, okay, this is fiction so I can enjoy it a little bit perspective, it was really well done, and so are just about all of the death scenes on Game of Thrones. Number 9, who do you think deserves to sit on the Iron Throne by the end of the series? I'm probably gonna go with the obvious, and that's Daenerys. I mean, I feel like with the army that she has, the dragons, I feel like how can she not take the throne? I mean, it would be a little bit disappointing if she didn't. And then at the same time, there's part of me that kind of wants it to be somebody completely unexpected to take the throne, just because I feel like that would be a good twist for the end. Number 10, what are you most looking forward to in the upcoming book or season? Now, since this is supposed to be the last season of the show, I have a couple things I need to see. First, I need to see Cersei die a slow, painful, agonizing death. She needs to answer for her crimes. She cannot get off scot-free. Next, I would love to see a full Stark reunion. I know they gave us Jon and Sansa last season, and that was amazing, but I kind of want to see the 4 remaining Starks all together again, preferably alive. Next, I would love to see, obviously, who takes the throne. That's the only reason we've been enduring all this madness, is to see who the winner is going to be. And last, I would love to see more of the White Walkers. I know they gave us a good bit of them last season, and they are the enemy, but I think they're pretty cool, so I want to see more of them. And that is it for me in this tag. Now, I was not tagged. I just did it because I like Game of Thrones. So I'm not going to tag anybody because obviously I don't know who likes Game of Thrones. But if you would like to do this, consider yourself tagged. Let me know down in the comments below if you do it. I would love to see your videos. Also, if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel, as well as follow or friend me on my social media accounts. I'll link them all down in the description box below. And thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, God bless. Bye.